Is Mr. Girl going to be on this panel?
Mr. Girl's already on this panel.
All right, cool. Well, you guys have a good one. I'm out. I'm not going to support this sick piece of shit, and I'll never do an interview, and I'll never do a panel with them. You got to let me know who's actually.
It would actually be me supporting you, you little bitch.
Got it. Yeah.
Wait, is this really happening?
Wait, who are you?
Fuck Mr. Girl. Peace out.
Can I ask who you?
No, that was like.
Hold on, wait, is that guy
interesting person? Oh, it's so...
Is that guy, isn't he a libertarian? I thought this was like...
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, I thought he was about to say, like, Mr. Girl's here? Dap me up.
Are you gonna jump on camera as well, Mr. Girl, or are you just...
Oh, shit, my camera's off?
Yeah.
Wait, why did they...
Wait, who just...
Why did he
just left?
Because he doesn't support.
I thought he was doing a bit there for a second, but he actually left.
No, he's not doing a bit. Sometimes people freak out.
That was Fabian Liberty. He's a ANCAP.
Who the fuck is that?
He's like the panel. He's like a staunch libertarian, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think unironic ANCAP, possibly.
Yeah, like an actual, like the free market and liberty will solve every single problem.
I thought Liberty was like his middle name, but it's actually like a libertarian thing.
Yeah, I call him Fabio Library as a joke. Nobody gets it. I guess we'll just get right into it. Topic number 1 is democracy doing its job and fairly representing what the people want in their regime. What would you change?
I think it was Socrates who expressed his concern with democracy, which is basically like, I don't know about all these like plebeians or these stupid people voting. I, of course, have to grapple with the fact that I'd probably be getting rid of a lot of Republican voters, but I also adhere to like the bell curve of, practical intelligence, as John Doyle would put it, which is the stupid people and the very smart people coming together against the people in the middle, which are like the liberals. I think the big threat is that democracy can be totally overwhelmed if you just import a bunch of people who think pretty differently, and this is, of course, the immigration aspect of it. You can pretty distinctly change what a country believes without actually polling the people who have historically represented that country, and I don't know if that's very fair. Destiny, there's something that I've been wondering about for a while. You've kind of this, from what I understand, a blanket approach of everybody should vote. I don't recall whether I've heard you advocate for this. Do you believe in like mandatory voting? I think you've like alluded or thought about it before on a stream.
I go back and forth on it. I'm like 51-49 in favor of it, but I could be convinced against it. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, so what do you think is the advantage of like everybody voting? Like, what do you think advantage is that?
It's annoying to me right now that people think that our political system is super corrupt and that it's representing corporate interest, when the reality is we're selecting for a certain percentage of voters, or a certain type of voter is voting. And that's why we see expressed in the government the things that are. So if everybody was forced to vote, then at the very least we could stop using that shitty fucking excuse for why things aren't getting done the way we want them to, and we can actually start blaming voters and holding voters responsible instead of just saying that like it's shady corporations and the deep state ruining everything.
Okay, I generally agree more with the reasoning, but I think it's also stupid to be like, once we get everybody to vote and like we've got people who don't care about it whatsoever voting, then we can, blame them for it. When I think that really the better alternative is to make it more difficult to vote. And I'll add a caveat here. What we want is to make voting accessible, but at the same time difficult, so that the people who want to vote and the ones who are willing to take the time to do it because they really truly feel that they have a voice in their country are going to go out of their way to do so. I think, if you were to tell me, and we saw this with like the past legislation that Democrats have been trying to push, that, we need, 24-hour voting, or we need people who can, do drive-through or drive-in voting. I find it a little bit silly to say that the people who we should care most about representing are the people who wouldn't vote in our elections if we didn't allow them to do it in a drive-through. Why are these the people who we should be really concerned with representing or voting people in?
I think the issue
it's
is
always been
fundamentally.
Yeah, go ahead.
People view democratic participation incorrectly. I would argue that you have the incorrect view. people seem to think that in the United States of America, you have options for how you want to engage with society, but that's not true. You have a forced engagement with society. Whether you like it or not, you are intersecting with other people in a plethora of ways. Whether you're talking about employer-employee relationships, whether you're talking about a direct engagement with, say, our welfare system, whether you're talking about creating children and putting more life, like there's a million different ways in traffic and where you live and how you vote and the things you do on the internet, like in every way, you have some buy-in to society. With the privilege and all the rights afforded to you in this society, there ought to be some responsibilities as well. And one of those responsibilities ought to be being a somewhat informed voter. I don't think that we can have this idea, this delusion that like, well, some people aren't informed enough to vote, so we should keep them from voting. LOL, they're voting in a whole bunch of other ways. They vote if they make themselves heard in city council meetings. They vote when they protest. They vote when they buy things from certain shops. They vote in the areas that they choose to rent and live in. They vote when they litter on the streets. Like there is this huge buy-in in society, and voting is just one dimension of this buy-in. Okay. And to pretend that that's like something that only some people should do when everybody votes with a whole bunch of different actions, I fundamentally disagree with that. I think voting is a responsibility that we should all have.
Okay. I kind of agree with you. Like, I think that I think individuals should vote. I do think that's kind of an obligation you have. But if individuals who are like over the age of 18 or whatever, and who, as you say, vote in so many other ways, just completely skirt this obligation that they have to vote, I would argue not because they have this moral principled stance of, well, I don't believe in either candidate, but rather just because they're too lazy to do it, i.e., drive through voting. Why would we pander to that? I mean, you're saying they vote in all these other ways. Well, okay, then isn't it enough to ask them to take the time to do it in the way that will elect politicians?
I mean, it depends on the type of voting stuff we're talking about, I guess. I'd have to see the specific provisions. If somebody wants to take the time to go down and vote, I don't give a fuck if they do it at 2 a.m. or 2 p.m. Like, if that's what somebody wants to do.
Okay, well, I think you kind of missed it. I may have not articulated well.
Well, I think you're assuming.
Hold on, Mr. Girl. So I think.
Well, I want to talk Stardust.
Well, I
understand. I just want to clarify one thing so Destiny can understand it.
Stardust, will you help me?
All right. I'm sorry. Let's let. Okay. All right. Kai, is there any chance that you can do it in like 5 seconds?
No, I'm not going to yield time to Mr. Girl.
In 5.
Stardust, mute it. Stardust, you need to mute this pussy.
Mr. Girl, we have to let people finish, and then I promise you will be next. Okay.
He's never going to finish.
He'll finish.
Wait, let's just fast forwarding. I understand what you're saying. You're saying that these people are basically like crawling on their hands and knees up to some lazy fuck in bed and saying, please, will you just fill out the ballot box? I just need you to vote, even though this person has no idea. That's what you're saying. That's your complaint, right?
Yes.
I think if somebody is not going to vote because of that,
I understand
they really
should.
Yeah.
If that is the case, and that is the case, but I don't think we're anywhere near that point yet. Extending the hours of the voting box, I don't think that this is like dragging people out of bed to go and vote. I think that's fine.
Then why would they not vote unless?
Wait, guys, let's get. We got to give him a space to get in. So, Mr. Girl, yes, what would you like to say?
Stardust is going to mute you. Okay. I don't think what Destiny is saying is that he's saying we should have an informed voting block. We shouldn't have people voting or blocks. We shouldn't have people voting who don't know what they're talking about. And then you said, well, so why should we cater to them? I don't think he's saying specifically the solution is to give uninformed people an easy way to vote. I think he's saying that the system will work better overall if everybody is informed enough to vote and everybody votes. I don't think he was saying you should help people who don't know what they're voting on vote.
But I never see that that's, well, actually, I maybe that's just sampling bias that I don't.
Well, don't ask him to represent a view he didn't just express. He's clearly not saying I don't want people who don't know what they're voting on to vote. He's saying I want everybody to know what they're voting on. I want everybody to vote.
Mr. Girl, I don't know if this is like the Mr. Girl gets very testy off from the bat arc because you roll over in certain debates and now you're changing that. But I'm not asking Destiny to support a position he doesn't. I'm saying that Destiny, in applying the mandatory voting, is going to have a lot of people who are no more informed than they were before and are not more willing to vote than they were before voting.
You're interpreting mandatory voting in the most possibly uncharitable way, where you're saying,
well, it's just mandatory.
True. Well, no, it's not just true, because you could also have mandatory civic education or
but that's not what we were talking about, Mr. Girl. We were just talking about voting, and if you required everybody right now to vote, and all the people who currently don't vote did, it would happen to show exactly what I just said. I don't think I'm being dishonest here.
Maybe there would be like a greater effort to like inform voters.
Yeah,
And I think that's what you should argue for first. I think
that is the first thing
voters
he
is what you
said.
should
The
argue for.
literally the first thing he said is that everybody who votes should be informed enough to vote. The public should know what they're voting on, and everybody should vote. I think in one sense, so we all agree everybody should know about civics, and then everybody should vote. So the question is, do we err on the side of people who are less educated voting about stuff they don't understand, or do we err on the side of preventing people who do know what they're talking about and are educated enough to vote, but we're not allowing them to vote because they didn't pass the test that we decided? And I think the American thing to do, the democratic thing to do, clearly, is to err on the side of allowing people to vote even if they don't know what they're talking about, and approach this as an educational problem rather than like we need to restrict people from voting problem.
Why do you frame it with like the American thing to do? Like, what do you think makes that an American thing to do? Other than appealing to right wingers, because I think you're trying to appeal to me by saying this is the American thing to do because I really like America. Do you actually mean that?
I really like America.
Isn't one of the foundational mottos like no taxation without representation, right? Like,
yeah, but even once there was representation, it was men who owned property.
Yeah, so if we're taking people's money, we can't tell them that they can't vote.
Okay, but you were taking men's money, which is why at the beginning of the country, the most American it was, arguably.
But also arguably that not. So I don't agree with you.
Okay, well, that's true.
I don't agree with you. You're not going to convince me it was the most American time when we had fucking slaves and women couldn't vote.
I don't even need to convince you. I just need to remind you that
you remind me that the most American thing to do is
majority of America.
I just got last username in here. Thank you, last username, for jumping in. He is now the replacement and Cap. So I just sent you the question. Feel free to weigh in if you'd like.
Well, the realistic way to think about democracy, I think, is like a non-bloody revolution that happens on a regular schedule, right?
Define non-bloody. Oh, sorry, it's your open. Sorry, my bad.
The unrealistic way to think of it is like a decision-making mechanism or a way of representing the will of the people or a way of making government sort of more morally legitimate. I just don't think, I think there's a lot, I think that kind of talk is more like mythology. You have to squint your eyes to see democracy that way. If you look at it closely, that just doesn't describe what really happens with democracy very well. As far as like a better way to do a revolution, it does that. It's great at that. Fills that purpose quite well and increases the quality of government. But it's overrated. As for mandatory voting, I don't see how that's going to improve anything. You are going to by forcing everyone to vote, you're just going to be, well, one big effect is you're going to be forcing people to vote. The average sort of informedness and intelligence is going to be, of the average voter, is going to go down because presumably people self-select for how competent they are at decision-making when they choose whether or not to vote. And if they don't have that choice, the net sort of competence is going to go down. It's easy enough to say, well, let's just improve. Let's just make everyone smart and informed and everything. But that's a big, big problem. There's a really fundamental reason that people are uninformed about politics. And I don't think you can just sort of wave that away easily.
Like the comparison that I would make is if anybody's played like Eve online, God forbid, that horrible fucking game, or Rust, God forbid, also another horrible fucking game.
Playing League?
I'm playing Rust right now.
Not League. Like if we're talking like Eve, or we're talking Rust with large teams, right? One of the as crazy as it sounds, like one of the most important things in it's probably true of WoW as well, or Final Fantasy 14. I don't play MMOs, but you know what? I've never played them, but I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna say I know it's true for these games, even though I've never played them before. Okay, one of the most important things that you have as a team leader or as anybody else in the game is keeping everybody else interested in the game, because all of you are kind of like there together. All of you are going to either sink or swim together. You're either going to clear the raids, you're not. You're either going to blow up enemy base or not. You're either going to have your corp thrive in Eve or not. And the motivation to get everybody together, to be excited, to be participating, like falls on every single member. Just the leader, the raid leader, the corp leader, the alliance leader, whatever, just one person can't do it. Every single person there has to be bought into that idea, and they all have to be there to do it. The only difference is you can't log out of living in the United States of America. When you're here, you're here. And we all kind of have a responsibility to make sure that everybody is somewhat incentivized into getting shit done. You can't just drop them and be like, fuck you, don't vote, like whatever. Like
the fact that you can't just log out that's why I don't like this idea that
No,
you
you
sort
can
of
log out.
obligated.
Go find a sink, fill it up with water, put your head underneath long enough, and you'll be out of the United States if you really want to. Okay, get that ANCAP shit out of here.
Mr. Girl had
There's
a
one
bonus topic he wanted to bring in. It's up to you guys if you want to go with this one, but
I'm good with either.
I'll leave it with Mr. Girl now with his bonus topic.
I wanted to talk about loli.
Oh no.
Oh yes. Is it immoral? Is it wrong? Is it sick? Is it bad for society? Should you be castigated by a group of your peers if you were to consume it and they were to find out about it? Also, just how are you doing? You know, I want to have a combination of an interview and like a big fight. I'm on your side, Flamenco.
Their backstory here, we should be aware.
How does it feel to have such
Okay.
great allies, Flamenco?
Wait, yeah,
I feel
does
like
everybody-
I want to
does-
shoot
does-
myself? Lol.
Okay, I can explain. I'll explain what happened, and you tell me if I'm wrong. 'Cause
Yeah.
okay. You have, you were allowing some of your friends to review some adult material that you had consumed.
By the
I
way-
didn't. It was no.
Are they friends? Are they
no,
friends?
people of my Discord apparently took it upon themselves, and like
To
I've been
review-
told by like multiple people the things that I was looking at was not like loli or whatever. I already knew
That's fine.
this.
Okay.
I guess in terms of Mr. Girl's question, I do believe that loli is pretty. immoral.
Wait. We still have to explain what happened. You've been called out by the commentary community as a consumer of
Well,
loli.
I've been called out
No.
I've been called out by a retarded 17-year-old communist, but yeah.
Okay, you've been called out by a retarded 17-year-old communist for consuming loli, but this narrative has caught fire, and the people depicted in this loli were actually like high school age. Is that correct?
I
Like
have
15 or-
no clue, dude.
Well, the last I heard, from the last analysis I heard, and I have people working on this, they were 15 or something. So, well, let's assume I'm calling it
People
loli for
working
short.
on
but
this?
I don't
like.
Is it
Yeah,
unsurprising? Is it unsurprising?
I have like an empire of like agents underneath me that they're scuttling around,
Watching
and
lolly
looking-
porn.
looking-
Yeah.
Oh my
Well, look,
god.
yeah, that's just part of their job. So 15-year-old kids depicted having sex with, I think, adults in this.
I have
story.
no clue, honestly.
You have no clue. Yeah, you just.
I have no clue.
you
This
just-
is
you
something I
used
looked
it-
at
you-
maybe
you-
like
you use
8
it and you
years
lose
ago. 8 years
Yeah.
ago, I think. Yeah.
Sure, I don't care how long it was. You could do it 8 minutes ago. I'm not gonna judge you.
I think like a lot of people that are really harping on it are people who were already predisposed to not liking me in the first place.
Okay. Well, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine, honestly.
Do you yourself think there is any ethical issues with, let's say that my 15-year-old analysis is correct. Are there any ethical issues with consuming illustrated material depicting 15-year-olds having sex with each other or adults?
I think it can be indicative of some bad stuff. I think that I think
I don't mean
that
mental health. I'm saying, is it immoral? I understand. So you're
Well,
saying it could mean that you have some kind of thing off,
yeah,
but
I think that.
do you think it's immoral? Do you think
when
it's
it comes
wrong?
when it comes to like immorality, I think that the
Yeah.
lack of like an actual victim kind of plays into like some part of it, but like overall, I think it kind of indicates a some negative qualities that you might want to be like wary of, especially from an individual.
Okay, but
and I think,
but you don't
and I
think you think it is.
and
you
I
think it is.
fundamentally think that like the distribution of it should probably be disallowed.
Okay, so you think it should be illegal, but you think consuming it is not immoral.
That's
The
kinda
act of
weird.
it of itself of consuming it, probably not.
Okay, so I could just right after this stream, I
Mm-hmm.
could just go to town with some 15-year-old, illustrated depictions, and you don't think there might be something wrong with me, but there's nothing inherently wrong like with it from a moral standpoint.
Yeah, like I generally like in terms of morality, I just generally tend to think of like, okay, who's being hurt by this, and given the fact that there's
Right.
nothing like there's no actual person. Like the reason why we like disallow the production of child pornography worldwide is because it's like literally impossible to produce it without hurting a child.
I agree with you.
Yeah, but with but I still think that it should be like discouraged. I don't know. And I'm never really put any sort of like hardcore theological or moralistic thought towards this.
Okay. Well, does anybody else want to weigh in?
Who the fuck cares? I don't think you can turn yourself into a pedophile watching fucking LollyCon. If you want to watch Lolly and jerk off to shit, who the fuck cares? I don't care.
Yeah,
I think
feel like
Kai wants to say something. Yeah, Kai.
What's up, Kai? How you doing over there, dude?
I'm doing wonderful, man.
What do you think about simulated child porn, LollyCon?
Yeah, I was gonna say, maybe I should have joined the ANCAP friend at the beginning.
Yeah, seriously, right?
No, if you're conflicted and you don't know what you think about
no,
this,
I know exactly
mixed
what
feelings.
I think.
I can totally understand.
I'm surprised that there's not more support. So, I mean, this is kind of a general view. I think that when society starts to allow things that are, in my opinion, morally harmful or like spiritually harmful. And of course, Mr. Grill, this is my, personal conservative Christian perspective.
Yeah.
I think it starts to decay like the fabric of the society. I have kind of the Burkean perspective that society is like a living organism. And if you feed that living organism like a lot of crap, whether or not it is like producing a harm to individuals, it will harm the society, degrade it, and the people will either become unproductive and lazy at best, or will become like really messed up people at worst. And I think the question, or the thing that you guys were mentioning rhetorically is, maybe you're a messed up person. I think we can mess up society by allowing this kind of behavior to permeate.
Okay, what do you think that the illustrated age of consent should be? So do you think that 18-year-olds should be able to be in porn, like real porn?
I don't think real porn should exist, so no.
Do you think it should be illegal to make porn?
Yes.
Okay. Do you think it should be illegal to make illustrated porn?
Yes.
Do you think it should be illegal to write a passage in a book that gives going to give the average person a boner? Yeah, erotica.
I know the part that you're getting down to.
No, I'm not getting. I'm honestly no. I'm not making an argument. It's not a trap. I'm not tricking you. I'm actually.
Okay. Well, then whether or not you're making an argument, like that's kind of the typical route people explore. And this was the Supreme Court. They had kind of the same thing where they were exploring this. It comes down to when you see it. It would probably be a case by case thing, but the general the general thing would fall under the Miller test. Anything that is, explicit or obscene or particularly vulgar should not be allowed under the freedom of speech. And then we would have to go by a case-by-case basis. But at least we should break up porn conglomerates. We should crack down on the distribution of it online.
Wait. Can I feel out the edge here?
Yeah.
I want to understand
where use that terminology again.
Can I edge out? Okay. Can I edge out the feels here? I don't know how you want me to say this. I told Lawrence Southern that I've never complimented my girlfriend. And this is true. I've never complimented her physical appearance, and I don't think I've ever complimented her in any way, because I don't like being in the role of evaluating her. And I resent that, and it feels weird to me. I don't like the idea that it's an compliments feel slimy to me, because when you compliment somebody, you're enjoying it yourself. You're saying it to make yourself feel good to some extent, but you're pretending that really you're just trying to make them feel good.
Does she compliment you?
For those,
I have a question, by the way.
Wait, he's answering my question first. He's answering my question first.
I said in a minute. Okay. No,
she has learned to never compliment me.
Some people are wired that they like to hear compliments. It just feels good. Even if you show them in every other way. And I know that your mind is instantly thinking like, well, it's actually because you're not showing her physically enough. I'm the most physically wired.
No, that's not what I was going to say. I was going to say, I think it's an addiction. It's an unsatisfying itch. How many compliments? Melina gets more compliments about her body than all these people on this panel combined every day that we'll ever get for our entire lives.
No, don't. You're smart enough to know how stupid what you just said was. Most of those compliments from random creeps don't mean anything. Just like a woman being dog whistled at doesn't mean the same as a compliment.
But at the same time, right? It could mean a lot.
It's literally the comic, Mr.
Well, how is a How is a coerced compliment from you, who has every inclination to say it when you don't mean it, in a way where you don't mean it? You're saying it through gritted teeth. Even if you believe that she has a nice body and you love her body, you're saying it because you're being coerced into saying it. How is that going to mean more than somebody genuine saying?
It's the comic, dude. The attractive HR guy and then the unattractive HR guy. It's literally what it is. But
it's not coerced. It's that
It is. It's forced.
No, that is so one-dimensional. Stop. If you're in a relationship with somebody and they really like oral sex and you don't like it that much, you're like indifferent to it, sometimes you'll do it for your partner because you know that it makes them feel good. You're not being fucking coerced. It's not like, oh my God, like this person.
Wait.
Mr. Girl's an egoist? What the?
You're saying that receiving a compliment from Melina is so pleasurable that even if she knows that you don't really feel like giving it, even though you already said that the reason a compliment is meaningful is because it's a betrayal of the internal mental state of the person giving it, meaning you have to mean it for it to feel good. That's not true of a blowjob. An insincere blowjob can still feel pretty fucking good, Steven.
Meet a woman, say I love you, never compliment them, and then they'll know I love you forever. You need to like build up like
I don't
know. You need to share appreciation for each other. Right?
You can talk about your feelings without complimenting somebody. I love you versus I love your big boobs or whatever.
But if you say I love your intelligence or you did something like really
that's a
cool
compliment.
or you're really good at that, that's a compliment.
I would rather jump off a fucking bridge than say that to my girlfriend.
Wow. So true. Can we stop with this, like,
I mean,
trying
maybe
to be
that
contrarian conversation?
Maybe that
I'm not
works
trying to be
for you.
contrarian. What do you think? Wait.
Maybe that works for you
No,
in
you
your
listen to me, you little shit. Are you saying that you think I don't compliment my girlfriend so I can be contrarian in a fucking panel with you?
I think it's less that you're trying to be contrarian in the opinion. You're just bringing it up because you think this is the thing that'll make you interesting because the pedophile thing wore off. Like,
so
are you suggesting?
So now are you suggesting that I should be a streamer and not try to be interesting? Is that your recipe for success, or are you suggesting that if I'm interesting,
maybe be interesting?
Or are you suggesting alternatively, if people think it's interesting that you might be a pedophile, that I should talk about that forever?
Hello?
Look, this guy's got a real doll in his closet. He doesn't need this complimenting to be
True.
interesting.
Do you want to see do you guys want to see the doll or what?
Can you bring it out? Actually, can we see it?
Yeah. I'll show you the doll right now.
Really?
I think so. On YouTube, I think you like.
I'll show you. Okay, I'll show you.
Clothed?
The doll's in her underwear. I'll show you the doll's hand, though. You want to see the doll's hand?
Wait, hold on. Is the Trump or the Grover dude, is he getting swatted?
Oh my God.
Oh shit.
Oh my God.
I thought he was holding his hands up because he was like mad.
Oh fuck.
Wait, shut the fuck up. Let's listen. Fuck, they stopped shouting. God damn it. Vivian got him. Okay, never mind. Go back.
Jeez.
I did hear somebody say, yelling, "Keep walking."
Yeah, he's getting swatted 100%. Unless he's got a friend like.
Jesus fucking Christ! I'm so glad that there's a ban on no-knock warrants where I live.
Well, not talking isn't gonna make the cops go away. So what were we talking about? Where are we at, guys?
Compliments and Mr. Girl and Bo Black's the fucking hammer. Oh yeah,
yes,
we were
you're
gonna bring
show
up
us
the
the doll.
I can show you her hand.
Officers,
do you name
don't show
the
the
doll,
whole body. The
or does the doll
might get
come with a
alarmed.
name?
The doll comes with the name Renee.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll show you.
Get the real doll right up in front of the camera, so when the cops come back to the computer, they know he was in some real fucked up
Mr.
shit.
Girl isn't talking about pedo stuff right now, or he might be in trouble if the cops here.
Oh my God, that's so creepy. Why would you put it like that? I think we should go around and all of us will give Mr. Girl a compliment.
Please don't.
Oh, I'm not doing that.
Well, I guess if Josh has to.
You have a very relaxing.
I'm not gonna lie. I can't lie.
You.
I have.
Hey, it's Kai. Kai's coming back.
Oh, welcome back, Kai.
Hey.
Bro.
Welcome
Did you
back.
get swatted?
Back. No, Mom called.
Really?
Wait,
Wow.
really?
Yeah.
You walked out with your hands up because your mom called?
Yeah. Dude, you don't know what my mom would do to me, man.
Uh-oh.
Jeez, dude.
She comes out with the chanclas, part Hispanic. No, that's a joke.
Wait,
I'm not Hispanic.
are you joking? What really happened?
My mom called me. Do I need to tell you about what my mom called me about?
Okay, here's my question. You took your headphones off and walked away with your hands up. What did that gesture mean?
Well, I have to take off my headphones to get outside, and I put my hands up as a gesture that I was coming because she was yelling.
I get it. I get it. I think we all get it.
I don't know. Mr. Girl doesn't really understand women much. So maybe there's like a mother relationship there. I don't know.
No, I don't have a relationship with my mother.
The taste of onion stains your mouth for 3 days.